Whether you're looking for answers to specific life questions or seeking to become the best version of you possible, welcome to the Mental Breakdown and Psychreg podcast, where we offer insight, information, and strategies based upon research and years of practice as clinical psychologists. So sit back, have a listen, and get connected with our hosts, Dr. Berney Wilkinson and Dr. Richard Marshall. Welcome back. Richard, today we're going to talk about a new word, a new concept that we had not heard of before, called Naikan.
I think
that's how we pronounce it.
I think that's the correct pronunciation.
Naikan.
Not the camera company.
No, that's spelled differently.
Right.
This is from a website that we've never seen before, called 30,000days.org.
Right.
And it's entitled A Guide for Reflecting on the Past Year. Right. This is actually from a number of years ago, from 2013.
Several years ago, but appropriate, applicable to what we're doing this week.
Right. And so it's the Naikan reflection for the new year. And here our author is Greg Kretsch. And I'm not sure what his credentials necessarily are, but he writes some really nice thing here. He wrote a book called Naikan, Gratitude, Grace, and the Japanese Art of Self-Reflection. Right. And that's what Naikan means, is it's a method of self-reflection.
That's right. It's a method they use there.
Right.
It was created long ago, but it's the method they use in Japan to reflect on the past,
right,
and get ready for the future.
Now, one of the things that Greg talks about here is something that I really like, and that is the idea of just pausing.
That's right. That's right.
You just pause. You hit pause.
You don't have to do it yet, and that's what we've been talking about this week. This is reflection.
Right.
Reflection is not doing. Reflection is contemplation. It is thinking about what you want to do, but do it carefully.
Yeah.
Do it thoughtfully.
Right. You know, he has some points here that kind of strike reality. The reality that we're tired, we're busy.
That's right.
Our lives are full. And so, you know, and even the things that we often do for rest is busy.
That's right. Right.
You know?
This is my relaxation, and I'm exhausted when I'm finished with it.
Right. I mean, I'm sure that it's a relatively American concept that a lot of people have said, where, you know, I need a vacation after my vacation.
That's right.
Because we try to pack so many things into it. We try to do so much that we are worn out from our time down.
Right. That's right. Our downtime exhausts us just as much as everything else.
Absolutely. So here we talk about pausing. Pausing to celebrate, pausing to reflect, pausing to take inventory, to look at everything. And I think that's a great advice.
Good advice, right.
Yeah.
And the original version of this is just 3 questions.
Right.
You know, he expands on it, but the original was 3 questions. And again, these challenged me. Because I'm not sure how, you know, we talked about that yesterday, is how we would answer some of these questions. I'm not sure how I would answer some of these.
Right.
It is challenging. If you do this right, it's challenging. I can see now why so few people accomplish their New Year's resolutions. Yeah. Because I think most of us are guilty of it. We just say, I think I'll put this, and this on the list. It requires more than that.
We do it so impulsively and so without thought that it's just, that'd be great.
Right. We don't put enough into it.
Really think about it. And those 3 questions are, what have I received from blank?
Right.
What have I given to blank? There's that gratitude again.
Right.
And what troubles and difficulties have I caused blank?
Not that happened to me.
Right.
What have I caused others?
Right.
You know, and what a different way of framing this whole thing.
Absolutely. And again, so this comes from his book called Naikan, Gratitude, Grace, and the Japanese Art of Self-Reflection. And they use those 3 questions to sort of frame, and I guess those questions came from a Japanese man, Yoshimoto Ishin.
I think
that's
Yoshimoto.
That one's easier because, you know, Yoshi, the first 5 letters, they're Yoshi. That's a character in Mario.
Isn't it
it probably means
in the morning?
I don't know.
That thing, that Pokemon.
Oh, I thought you meant like brush your teeth and get out
No.
of bed and make your bed and all that kind of stuff.
No.
Threw me off there.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Isn't that?
I don't know.
Okay. I thought you were learning Japanese.
No.
Yashimoto. I don't
Ishin?
know whether those would be long eyes.
Ishin?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I apologize. We apologize for that.
Certainly.
But you have the 3 questions. Okay.
Yeah.
So you start with your 3 questions, but you put them in a context of 6 categories.
Right.
Or however many categories
Right.
you want to use.
Yeah.
His 6 include
people, travel, objects, the environment, difficult situations, and accomplishments.
Yeah, the environment threw me.
Yes.
But there are cultures that do think about the environment because it's in Japan. You have smaller spaces,
right?
So the idea of the bonsai tree or the Japanese garden, they're smaller but more carefully tended.
Right.
We have this expansive country here,
right?
And we tend to take it for granted,
right?
Where they don't in some countries. So they do think about the environment differently than we do.
Yeah. So you would ask those 3 questions: what have I received from, and fill in, something from each of those 6 areas. So what have I received from my significant other?
Right.
What have I given to, my workspace?
Right.
What have I given to, or what troubles and difficulties have I caused? The environment that I'm living in.
Because if you take just your partner, okay, and you say, okay, so first of all, it's people.
Right.
But under people, you have coworkers, partner, children, family. And so what have I received from, okay?
Yeah.
And then you go down through the list. And then what have I given to?
Right.
And then you go down through the list.
Yeah.
So this is going to take you some time.
This would take a little bit of work, but it's a great exercise if you really want to take some time, if you really want to get into reflecting back on the year, because, as you're planning for 2018, the more thoughtful that you are in reflecting, the better prepared you're going to be for planning ahead.
And what I really like about this is that, what have I received from my wife? And you say, nothing but trouble. What have I given to my wife? Nothing but trouble. So it forces you to look at both sides. What have I received from? It doesn't matter. Fill in the blank. But then immediately you go to, what have I given to that person?
Yeah. And so if you're getting what you're giving, makes sense.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, it's a great exercise. This will take you a little bit of time. So definitely, carve out. You might want to do, because there's 6. Over the next 6 days, you could do 1 a day.
Do 1 a day.
One of these areas per day.
Or look at the 6 and say, well, I just want to use 4 of those.
Right.
Perfectly okay.
Yeah,
all right?
absolutely.
If you don't want to fool with the environment, or you don't want to do what difficult. You decide what your categories are. We did a podcast earlier in Monday of this week where there were 4 categories. Right. Okay, so go back and look at these, see which pieces work for you.
Right.
But please spend the time and do it thoughtfully.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, that is it for today. Make sure you're following us and subscribing to everything that we're doing on iTunes and Google Play Music and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and we try to be in as many places as possible so that it's easier for you. Would love for you to write a review or rate us on Facebook or iTunes or Google Play Music or wherever you might be able to do that, because it just increases our visibility to other people. You can definitely check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/thementalbreakdown. If you have the means and the interest and willingness to support some of the work that we're doing here at The Mental Breakdown, we have lots of goals for 2018, lots of things that we'd like to do. We just need a little bit of time, and that's what your support will do, is go directly into providing us, helping us carve out more time by getting some help that we need. Eventually getting to the point where we have better equipment and everything that we're doing just to make everything more streamlined. So that's the goal.
Right.
So,
and of course, contact.
Yeah.
Write
to us.
Communicate. Love to hear from you. I love when I get messages from listeners.
Absolutely.
For clarification, for criticism, for compliments, whatever you want to tell us.
Yeah.
It's useful.
Absolutely.
So please stay in touch.
All right, that is it for today. So until next time,
stay happy, stay healthy, and forget to be afraid.